For my first video of 2026, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've been making since I took my YouTube break. Hi, my name is Sarah and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I took the month of January off from YouTube and I'm feeling really refreshed, and I'm back to share with you all the things that I've been working on since I last posted a makes video. So starting off with my repairs and refashions, a bunch of them I don't have them to show for you because they were for my husband. At the end of the year, he brought me a whole stack of things that needed to be repaired, and so I just fixed them and gave them back to him, so I don't have them on hand to show you. Most of them are not that interesting. A lot of his Jutland pants had gotten holes in them, including the gray corduroy pair that I just made for him at the end of the year. He tore a huge hole in the crotch. I have no idea how that happened, but I'm very disappointed in the fabric. So I had purchased it from Fabric Wholesale Direct, and I'm thinking that from now on, I'm just going to avoid that fabric for him because it doesn't seem like it's durable enough. So at the time when he brought me his pants, I had actually been working on a muslin. I'd used the leftover fabric to sew a muslin for a project that I was working on for myself, and I didn't have any of that fabric left over from the muslin. So here, let me just get it and show it to you. So this was the muslin that I had been working on for myself, and I ended up cutting a little rectangle out of the bottom so that I could use it as a patch to repair his pants. Fortunately, I had this on hand to be able to use it. So I was able to successfully fix his pants, and because this was a muslin, I didn't really care if I used a little bit of it for the repair. So that was the first thing I did. I fixed a bunch of my husband's trousers, and I actually still have a couple of other things for him that I need to fix and haven't gotten to yet. But I also made a couple of free fashions for myself as well. So I had a couple of turtlenecks in my wardrobe that I just wasn't wearing because I actually don't really like a full-on turtleneck. I much prefer a mock neck. I just find that turtlenecks are a little bit too tall and they get a little bit choky. So I decided to go ahead and take off the neckband and shorten it to more of a mock neck and then put it back on again. So that's what I did to this one. This was a Pattern Emporium Keep It Simple Babe tee. I fixed this one and I've been wearing it quite a bit since I finished it. So I'm really glad that I made that change. And then I also had this one, which was another Keep It Simple Babe tee. This one was a little bit less successful. So this one's made out of a very drapey rayon. And I think because the fabric is so much more fluid, the neckband is a little bit floppy and it doesn't quite look like a mock neck. Probably should have made it a little bit taller. It's a little bit more of like a weird in between crew neck and mock neck, but it is still more wearable than it used to be. And I have worn this a couple of times since I fixed it. So I'm really glad that I made those changes. And then as I've been going through my wardrobe and weeding things out, I had a couple of tight fitting dresses that I didn't really feel comfortable wearing anymore. They were more form fitting short dresses, and I have gotten bigger in the hips. So they kind of tend to ride up, and I don't really feel right wearing them in public anymore. So I went ahead and cut off the bottom and changed them into t-shirts instead. This one was a ready to wear and it's a really nice, almost like fleecy fabric. So I made this one into a t-shirt. And then I also altered this one. This was a McCall's dress. I can't recall the number, but I did the same thing. I just cut off the bottom and hemmed it and made it into a t-shirt as well. I really love this fabric, so I was happy to be able to save both of those and turn them into something that I will wear in my wardrobe rather than those dresses which were not getting anywhere. The last refashion I have to share with you is one that I knew that I had to do for a long time, but I just had been putting it off because it's kind of unpleasant. I had made this little sweater vest a few years ago and I really like it, but it was just too short. I think I was just too excited to finish it and I didn't make it long enough. So every time I wore it, it was like super cropped and the proportions were kind of weird. So over the holidays, I was finally ready to fix it. So I went ahead and removed the bottom ribbing. I added 3 more stripes onto the bottom and then I knit another set of ribbing to finish it off. It's a little bit longer now. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture because I have worn it, but during my social media break, I actually took time off from taking photos as well, which was actually kind of nice. So I don't have a photo, but I'm sure I'll get one eventually. I'm pretty sure I did use the same needles that I used the first time around, but for some reason my tension was actually a little bit tighter this time. So it's a little bit more snug at the bottom than the top of the vest is, but I'm hoping it'll kind of work itself out over time. It's not really that noticeable, and it's definitely way more wearable. It's probably about 3 inches longer than it used to be, and I'm glad to have it back in my wardrobe because I do think I'll get a lot more use out of it. It cuts me off at a more normal spot, like where you would expect, like right at the top of my pants. So those were all of my repairs and refashions, and I do have a new knitting project to share with you. But before I do that, I'll share with you what I am wearing. This is the petite knit balloon sleeve sweater. I knit this back in 2022. I am wearing a turtleneck underneath because this mohair sweater is a little bit itchy without enough layers underneath. So I have on one of my Victory Patterns Francis tees made out of a cotton spandex jersey in navy. Then I layered on this Vicky So's Esther dress, which is more of a summer dress, but I was really happy to be able to layer it up for winter and just style it a little bit differently. Because it's super cold today, I don't really plan on leaving the house too much, so I'm just wearing my little mini Ugg boots. And if I do need to run out later, I picked out my vintage Coach bag. So that is my outfit for the day, and now let's just move on to a new knitting project. So this was a new project that I made in December. It's called the Harris Hood, and it was on my wish list, so I did go ahead and purchase the pattern and I knit it up. For the yarn, I held two yarns together. I used some Plank and Stella DK weight. It was a superwash merino, I think. And then I also held it with a strand of mohair silk, which is actually the leftovers from making this sweater. So it has this really beautiful soft halo to it, and I love the colors. This has been such a useful garment. I'm so glad that I made it because it's been really bitterly cold this winter, like very, very cold. And this is an excellent piece to add as a layer. So if I wear like a tight fitting beanie and then I wear this hood over top, it really keeps the wind out. Or the other way that I've been wearing it is I will wear this on its own and then put on my puffer coat with a hood and put the puffer hood over top. So it's another double layer. I will say that wearing it on its own without a hat underneath, it's not very windproof. And so because it's been so cold, I found that I have needed to double up. But if it was more normal temperatures, if it was more like the 20s or 30s, it'd probably be okay with just this. But at any rate, I have been getting a lot of use out of this, and I'm actually debating whether I should make another one in a more neutral color because I think that I would wear that one even more. I probably won't do it this year, but maybe next fall I'll knit another version. But I'm really, really glad that I made this. I would highly recommend the pattern. It's pretty easy. I think that a newer knitter could easily make this one. And I'm just really pleased with how this turned out. So let's move on to the next thing. So I'm finding that because I haven't filmed in so long, I'm a little bit rusty, and so I forgot to bring my iPad in before I started filming, so I don't have my notes. So I'm just going to do the best that I can because I don't want to go into my bedroom and disturb my husband because he's sleeping right now. The next few items were all gifts, and I don't have them to share with you because my husband has them, and I also don't have my notes, so I don't know the pattern numbers, but everything will be linked down in the description box. So in one of my videos last year, I had been talking about how my husband wanted some new merino jersey t-shirts, and I was having a hard time sourcing merino that was in the US. I did end up finding a place. I will link it down in the description box. I would say the quality is not quite as good as the fabric store merino jersey that I had purchased in the past, but it's pretty close. And I definitely think the shirts that I've made for my husband are going to last for a while. So I would recommend the fabric. It is kind of expensive, but that's just the nature of merino jersey. So the t-shirts that I made for him, I made him two different patterns that I have made before. They're TNT patterns. I made three versions of Simplicity pattern. It's a very, very simple t-shirt. It has cuffs. It's finished with the hemband, and so you don't have to do any hemming at all, which I really, really like about that pattern. Because I had purchased 2 yards of each of three fabrics, I wanted to try to squeeze out as many shirts as I could for him, and so I ended up going to the pattern and trimming down the seam allowances. For simplicity, they're normally 5/8 inch seam allowances, and on a knit, I find that you don't really need it to be that thick. So I went into the pattern and I trimmed down the seam allowances to only a 1/4 inch in order to maximize the amount of fabric that I had. And then I did the same thing on the other t-shirt that I made in from the leftovers. This one was a raglan t-shirt. It was another simplicity pattern. I trimmed those down to 3/8 of an inch. I think I did that because some of the seam allowances were already 3/8 of an inch. And so in order not to confuse myself, I just made them all the same. But I did end up trimming down the seam allowances on both patterns in order to get as much as I possibly could out of the fabric. So I was able to squeeze out 4 t-shirts for my husband out of the 6 yards of fabric that I had. And then I even have enough left to possibly make something else for myself down the road. The raglan t-shirt does require hemming. I think I had to cover stitch the neckline and also the hem of the top and the cuffs. But now my husband has 4 merino jersey shirts that he can wear, and I'm hoping that they will last him for a really long time. So that was definitely a success story. And I'm really happy to have given him something that he was requesting that he really wanted. And I even have a little bit of fabric left to do something for myself on down the road. The next item is another gift that I don't have to show you. It is a pair of mittens. So way back in the day, probably more than 10 years ago, I made my husband a pair of Shelburne mittens from Knitty. That pattern was published in 2011, so that's probably when I made the first pair. I made them out of a Malabrigo yarn, and he'd worn them so much that there were really big gaping holes in them. Like, I personally definitely would not have kept wearing those mittens when they had such gaping holes, but they were my husband's favorites, so he just kept using them over and over and over again. So finally, when I noticed that the holes were like so huge, I was like, okay, you need a new pair of these. This is kind of ridiculous. So I went through my stash and I found some hand spun BFL yarn that I had made several years ago. And so I just made him a new pair, the exact same pattern, the exact same size, but ones that don't have holes. So he's really appreciated that, and he's been wearing those pretty constantly since I made them for him. So that was another very successful gift. And I'm really pleased with myself that towards the end of December and into January, I haven't really made too many things for myself. I've mostly been making for others. And I did actually finish one garment for myself, the first thing that I've made for myself in the new year. And it is this skirt, and you'll have to pardon me because I just washed this last night, and so I haven't had a chance to iron it. And in fact, I haven't even tried it on yet post washing, so I'm not 100% sure that it actually fits me, but it probably does. But because I think that this garment definitely deserves its own dedicated video, I'm going to save that for later. So if you're interested in hearing more about the story of that skirt, then please subscribe to my channel and come back for that review video. I think I'll probably post it 2 weeks from now. Next week, I think I'm going to share with you some of the things that I purchased with some Christmas money. I did get some items off of my wish list, and I'll also just give you a general catch up about what's been going on in my life since I last filmed, because I have had some pretty major changes that I would love to share with you. So that wraps it up for me today. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it so much if you would give it a thumbs up because it helps more people find my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that you're here with me, and I will see you in the next video.